Okay, we do Netivot Shalom על התורה, Sefer שמות, פרשת Tzav, the second parsha. כל העוסק בתורת עולה, כאילו כבולה. Anyone that deal with the, or learning, or doing in עולה, basically, it is if like he sacrificed the korban עולה. So זאת תורת העולה, this is the Torah, the teaching of the sacrifice that goes on the altar all night until the morning. And our sages says, Kol ha'osek b'torat olah. Okay, so that was during the time of Bet HaMikdash or the Mishkan. We had the sacrifice of olah that goes completely to Hashem. But today we don't have sacrifices. So our sages says, Kol ha'osek, right? Mitasek. You know, there is an organization called Misaskim, right? Basically, it's mitaskim, dealing with. So anyone that is dealing with the Torah, with the teaching, learning of the olah, it is if like he did the sacrifice. And we need to explain. מדוע באמת העוסק בתורה? Why really it sounds like if somebody that is just learning, it is if like he did a sacrifice. והנה כתיב כאן, זאת תורת העולה. It says here, this is the Torah of the עולה that goes on the altar all night until morning, and the fire of the altar will burn it. But when you're learning, you don't have a fire, you don't have an altar, right? And you don't learn probably from 9 till the morning. So בעבודת בית המקדש מצינו שני עניינים שזמנם בלילה. We found like two periods of time that at night time. שכל הקורבנות קרבים רק ביום ולא בלילה. All the sacrifices have been sacrificed at night and not the daytime. כדכתיב ביום צוותו, in the day when he commanded. This is how we learned it. ורק כאן בעינינו, but here in our matter, in this topic of the תורת העולה, הכתיב היא העולה על מוגדה, על המזבח, that it's going, the sacrifice is being sacrificed at daytime, but it's bringing on the altar all night until the morning. And also in the menorah, it says, מערב עד בוקר לעלות נר תמיד. So the korban olah and the menorah are at night. ועניינם, and their importance, כי בלילה היא עת התגברות הסטרא אחרא, because at night time, we said it many times, the other side, the evil inclination, is having more power when it's dark. Right? Crime ratio is high at night. On the pshat, because it's dark and people don't see other people clearly, right? So it's they're hiding. But on a spiritual level, there is a spiritual darkness, and the other side is trying to even more blind us from the positive spiritualism and try to hide the da'at, right? וכאשר דעה חסרת מה קנית, right? So when we don't have a wisdom, we don't have a sechel, we don't have a brain, then we are stupid, and stupid people do stupid things, right? And sometimes we are stupid as well because we are in the spiritual darkness. And also at nighttime, it's trying even stronger, the koach hachomer, like the physical thing in the bad desires. And against that, or in counter to that, we have the light of the menorah. Because the light of the menorah, that special light, enlightening our wisdom. And also the fire of the altar, which is like in the context or in the thing of havla mafik havla, like it's a fire that produces more fire. And that, or eating another fire that consumes another fire. And that was helping us to save us from the fire of desires and from the overcoming of the physical, of the chomer, on our spiritual shape. And these two levels of the menorah and the olah, al-mugda, on the altar, we have also in the Torah. So the Torah enlightening our wisdom, our brain, until we will be able to feel there is God. And also we have the strength of the fire, what it says, Alo kol dvarinu ke'esh neum Hashem, right? That we have verses in the Torah and we're singing it many times in song that to say that Hashem words are like fire. So this fire of the Torah is against or fighting the evil inclination. As our sages said, that Hashem said to us, right? I created the evil inclination. I created the Torah as an antidote, as a cure. זה שכתב הרמב"ם, and the Rambam wrote in Hilchot Talmud Torah, right? He said, אף על פי, even though there is a mitzvah to learn day and night, and אדם לומד רוב חוכמתו אלא בלילה, but he says, the person basically learn the best or better, or most of his learning at nighttime. And I just said, אין רינה של Torah, there is no joy of the Torah, but at nighttime. As it says, קום ירוני בלילה, get up and be happy at night. וכל העוסק בתורה בלילה, like we now, it's night outside. It said, anyone that is עוסק בתורה at nighttime, there is a string of chesed, of kindness, goes from heaven to him, נמשך. וכל בית שאין לשמוע מדברי תורה, in a house that you don't hear words of Torah at night, חס וחלילה, it said, fire will eat it. So we need to explain why really the main learning of the Torah is at nighttime. And also, why a house that you don't hear the Torah at nighttime, even if though in daytime you have the Torah or somebody learn in the daytime, why he deserves such kind of a punish that the fire will burn that house? And explain, according to these words, that the nighttime, as we just said, it's the time of the evil inclination, that tempting, seducing the person for all the bad desires. And there specifically, you need the strength of the Torah, the Magnum Matzli, that is protecting him and saving him. And when he learned Torah at nighttime, the Torah protecting him. In a house that you don't hear the Torah, even if he learned at daytime, but when he doesn't learn at night, then he is lacking the guard. It's not that Hashem will punish him. It is like you have evil inclination, you have bad people in the world. If you don't have a fence or a gate, right, then somebody can intrude. And you don't leave your house open. So the same thing is with the learning the Torah at nighttime. It will be protecting the house from the fire of the evil inclination and the desire. And he said it's not a punishment, but it's the reality, right? It's like somebody pull a trigger, the gun will fire. שאם אינו לומד בלילה, said if he doesn't learn at night, he doesn't have the strength, the power of the Torah, and he's like a sick person that he doesn't take the proper medication. He needs to take the medication for his disease. And that is the Torah learning at nighttime. ראית בספרים הקדושים, it says in the holy books, in the topic of I created the evil inclination, I created the Torah as a spice or as an antidote or as a drug for it, which is not enough that he's learning Torah, but also he needs to put his effort in the Torah and learn with enthusiasm, with itlavut. Because if the Torah is fire, we need the fire to fight the fire, to learn the fire. And then the Torah will become as antidote. I mean, if we learn and we really upset of the learning, then maybe we need to change what we're learning. Sometimes it's difficult to learn a certain topic. Then it says that we have to learn what our heart is really happy with. And maybe later on we can try something. I know in the past, not that today it's easy for me, but Gemara was very difficult. I didn't understand like what they want. But gradually when you learn, then you're starting to understand the concept, then it's become a really pleasure to learn, especially when you're able to understand something. But if somebody doesn't really like something, then he needs to move and learn something else that he will like. There was a time when most of my learning was reading Hasidic stories years ago. That was my learning. I love stories. And that was preparing me for the next step to learn something else. So we don't have to learn by force something that we don't like. And his daddy said, because we need to learn really would be beitlavut, to be excited. So if what makes you excited is reading stories, a city story, then learn that. Later on, you can go back to the Gemara if you can. If not, read more stories. He said, because if we don't learn with excitement and we don't put the effort in the Torah, then it doesn't have the strength of the Torah of its protecting and saving. וכלשון שאנו מברכים בברכת תורה, it's the way that we saying the ברכת התורה, right? אשר קידשנו במצוותיו, right? קידשנו לעסוק בדברי תורה, right? That we should be asking, we were dealing with the Torah. Like, I wish, like when we put our effort in our job, This is how we should do, not the other way around. ודווקא עוסק בתורת עולה. So now the somebody that is osek, that is dealing with Torat of Olah, the sacrifice that goes completely to Hashem, which means that he put all his effort in that, it is if like he did the sacrifice, he bring the sacrifice. In the same way the Olah was enlightening us at the night time, the darkness, the spiritual darkness, same thing, it will be lighting for him the night and protecting. And another way we can say, that anyone that deal with the Torah, with the teaching of Olah, it is if like he is sacrificed. According to what it says in the Holy Book, Divrei Moshe, from the Rav HaKadosh Rabbi Moshe Doliner, Zichron Tzadik Levacha. It says in the reason when they said in the Haggadah, right, actually we have, 28 days from now? We have a Leil Seder, which says in the Leil Seder, the verses of the Torah of Yetziat Mitzrayim. Because in this psukim, when we say during the Haggadah, which is Pesach, which is exactly the same timing when we had it, then we actually were bringing that spiritual light of Pesach and the redemption from Egypt. And when we said Baruch HaMakom Baruch Hu, Baruch Shenatan Torah L'Israel, right? Bless Hashem, bless him that he gave us the Torah to the Jewish nation, right? We are thanking Hashem that gave us the Holy Torah, which is have all the divine secret and the enlightenment, the Gedusha, the holy Gedusha, right? Of all the time. And according to that, we can say in all the matter of the Torah, anything that we learn, any topic that we learn from the Torah, we're bringing ourselves that spiritual light. And therefore, the one that is dealing with the Torah Tolah, when he's repeating the repetition and he's learning, wherever if he's going deep into that learning, it is like he's bringing that light of the Torah. And any topic in the Torah. And also it says in Tanchuma, Tzav et Aaron vebanav lemor, right? This is the pasuk of the Parashat Tzav, like command Aaron and his son to say, which means, she'omru lebnei Israel, Moshe commanded, Hashem commanded Moshe that commanded Aaron that they should teach and tell Bnei Israel that they should itasku later on in the future in Kriya, in reading the Torah, specifically about that. And even at that time, they were learning it. Even though they were bringing the sacrifices, they were still learning it to cover themselves from all angles. Right? So he said, Hashem told Israel, even when the Bet HaMikdash in the future is going to be destroyed and there will be no more sacrifices, don't forget yourself. Don't forget to learn the korbanot, but really watch yourself and read and repeat and read, right? And that's why, for example, it's very important in davening to say korbanot, because we're not just saying, we're not just reading the word. Basically, we had korbanot, right? And in the morning, usually we have that part that actually we're mentioning all the type of the korbanot and the location where they've been sacrificed, and how many portion of blood, and how many portion of blood are on the altar, and how many pieces go here and there, and which one are in the Azara, which one outside, how many days you can go and eat. This is only the nighttime, night plus day, right? Why? Because it is if like we're doing it, and we have to bring all the sacrifices. So when we davening or when we're learning, it is if like we're doing it, literally. So according to this foundation of these words, we can share mind there that it says, בהגדה של פסח, אמר רבי אלעזר בן עזריה, right? הרי אני כבן 70 שנה. So Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah said, I am like 70 years, and I didn't have the merit שתאמר יציאת מצרים ולא, that the tell the story about the redemption from Egypt at nighttime, until the teaching from Ben Zoma. That the Ben Zoma was teaching us that ימי חייך, when it says the days of your life, lives with plural, these are the days. And kol yemei chayecha, all the days of your lives, these are the nights. So before the drasha, before the teaching of Ben Zoma, the light of the redemption from Egypt was not revealed at nighttime because it was hidden in the Torah. But after Ben Zoma said, hey, we have to do the Leil Seder and learn it not only during the daytime, but also at nighttime. Oh, so now we have the spiritual light at nighttime as well. So he said, and this is what it said, Velo Zachiti, I didn't have the merit that the redemption of Egypt would be tell at nighttime, until Ben Zoma was teaching us. and then he brings the spiritual light. And with that, we could understand or explain the minhag, לומר במנחה של שבת הגדול, right? In the mincha, I think it's maybe in Ashkenazi, I don't think the Sfarad will do that. To say in שבת הגדול, מתחילה עבדים היינו, right? עד לכפר על כל אמונתנו. So when we said like the psukim there, that I think it's from the Bikurim, that the beginning we were slaves, right? Until everything was building up for the atonement of our sins. And he says, yeah, there are some places that they didn't say that, but anyway, we need to explain that minhag that we didn't find in other Yamim Tovim, that the day before the Yom Tov, you say something specific to that. And he says, according to the Holy Book, that we learn that the Shabbat bring the spiritual light for the next days to come. So if you have Shabbat, and then after that Pesach, that Shabbat, the Shabbat Agadol, project or influence the spiritual light of Pesach, to the Yom Tov. And that Shabbat Agadol, we're bringing the light, the spiritual light of Pesach and Yetziat Mitzrayim. And therefore, you're reading all of these things. And the same thing, Shabbat Shuvah, which is before Yom Kippur. All the spiritual light of Yom Kippur are being coming from that Shabbat before, between Rosh Hashanah and Kippur. And that's the root of the minhag, to say the Haggadah in Shabbat Agadol, or part of it, in order to prepare ourselves and bring the light of Pesach for the Pesach Yom Tov, basically. And therefore it's called, another reason, Shabbat Agadol. It's a mighty Shabbat, because every Shabbat Agadol that you're reading it, we are getting that light. And that's why it's called Leil Shimurim, and the night of protection, etc., and the revelation of the Shekhinah. So we might not see it, but it's there. And when we do that, so that's why we need to be very serious when we're davening and we're reading. And that's why, for example, there are some people, basically that's the halacha, that when you're davening, you have to say the word by itself and very clearly and with the proper pronunciation, because chas v'chalila, if you say korbanot and you don't say it and you swallow words, etc., it is if like you damage the korban. It's not good. That's why it's important. Shkoyach, thank you for listening. And Bezrat Hashem, we will see soon how we're going to bring the korbanot to Bet HaMikdash. B'mera b'yameinu, amen. And I want to dedicate the shiur to the success of all the nation, the Israeli nation, the Jewish nation, and the Chayalim, the IDF that are really killing themselves literally for us. So it should be for their great success, and we should see miracles